Are you able to hear me? Anyone can play? The PPT is visible or not, and my voice is audible or not. Just respond. Sai Gayatri. Who is Sai Gayatri? Just respond it in chat box. Anyone can reply in chat box. After that, I will start the class. Vamshi. Okay. Okay. So today our topic is ER model. So why we are using ER model and we have to use ER model means we want to design a database. How we have to design a database? By using commands, we have to implement a database by using SQL software in a diagrammatic manner. So ER model is used for designing a database purpose. What is the abbreviation of ER is nothing but here entity relationship model. Here, what are the components are needed for this model? First, we have to identify what are the components and how it used. So these things are you have to be identified. Okay, first thing, for what are the first components for ER model is nothing but entities. Okay, so just here you have to observe entity. First one is entity, and second one is attribute, and third one is relation. So first one, entity. So why we are taking as an entity? Entity is nothing but here main object that is uh, like a person or an organization. Anything you have to take as a main thing that represented in entity. So what are the properties regarding to that entity that can be represented by using an attributes? So in our student database, what is the main entity here? Main person here, student. So what are the properties for student here? Student ID, student name, student age, student address. So these are the properties of that student. So next thing is relation. So in our database contain two or more entities. So then we have to connect those entities by using one relationship. Like student is one entity and course is one entity. Like course have been, course ID and course name are the attributes for course. So what is the relationship between student and course? Enrolls. Student, each and every student can enroll some course. So we have to maintain some relation between those entities. Then we have to go for what are the types of entities and what are the types of attributes and what are the type relations. What is the graphic representation for each and everything regarding this. Okay, this you have to observe. So entity. Entity is a main object that can be represented by using a rectangular box. Here employee is a main thing and department is a main thing. You have to represent by using rectangle symbol in entity. So what are the types of entity? Means a strong entity is nothing but so strong entity is nothing but the other entity. That is nothing but strong entity. So here the normal as a strong entity. So what is weak entity? So here an entity that depends on another entity is called a weak entity. Means that entity is not a stable without the connection of this strong entity. So what is the best example for weak entity is nothing but here loan and installment. Just you have to loan, we have not to identify installments without on loan. So that's why this type of entities are considered as weak entity. So next coming into attribute. Attribute is nothing but property or characteristics of an entity. So that can be represented by using ellipse. Here student properties are ID, name, age, phone number. So that things are represented in ellipse form. So identify what are the unique attribute in student. Means student, each and every student can be differentiated by using ID only. So that's why we are considered as ID is the main thing, right? It's a key attribute. How we can identify by seeing the diagram. So just you have to represent an underline for a ID. That type of attribute is nothing but key attribute. Just here you have to observe key attribute. Ellipse symbol. So next thing, key attribute is the main thing for that entity. So composite. What is meant by composite? Here an attribute that is composed by many other attributes means name contains three three involving means what is meant by involving attributes first name, middle name, last name. Like address is also having this type of so address can having another attributes. So sorry. What is multi-value attribute? Here you have to observe an contain one or more key value attribute. What is the best example for that is nothing but phone number. Okay. So next, derived attribute. So what is meant by derived attribute? An attribute that can be derived from other attribute. Like student can enter the date of birth at the time of form filling. So take the database, take the date of birth call as from date of birth to till date how many years are. Okay, so we have to derive age from date of birth. So that type of attribute can be represented by using dotted ellipse. Just you have to observe symbolic representation for age. Age is derived from date of birth. Here you have to write DOB can be derived age. So what are the types of attributes here? Key attribute. The representation of key attribute is nothing but ellipse with underline. Next, multi-valued attribute means double ellipse. Composite attribute means attributes with attributes. Next, derived attributes is nothing but dotted ellipse. What are the type of entities? Weak entity and strong entity. Weak entity means a thick line for the rectangle and weak entity having some. Then I have to go for relationship. Are you understand? Anyone can reply these two? Are you having any doubts? You can raise it in chat box. Then I will clarify your doubts. So next, relationships. For relationship is used within an entities. You have to enroll. So first you have to maintain a relationship is used to describe the relation between diamond and rhombus symbol. Rhombus symbol is used for to maintain. Rhombus symbol is used to represent a relation. Showing here is nothing but here teacher is a relationship between teacher and student. Teacher having its own attributes and student having its own attribute. May or may not teachers also having some attributes. Okay. What are the types of relationship here? There are four types of relationship: one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many relationship, and many-to-many relationship are there. Okay. So here one-to-one relationship we are taking when only one instance of entity on the left side can means here you have to write I have to take one best example like one female person can marry to one male person or one male person can marry to what one example means one instance can participate with one instance only. Okay, so that type of categorization can be considered as one-to-one relationship. You have to maintain like one means one instance of female is married to one male instance. So here one to many relationship. When only here one to many means one instance on the left side and many instances participate in the right side entity. So what is the example here is nothing but scientist and invention. Okay, so one scientist can invent more number of inventions, but every invention can be done through only one specific scientist. Are you understand one to many relationship? One scientist, okay, one scientist can invent more number of inventions. Every invention can be invent only one one instance on the right side. In our class, each and every student can enroll each and every course this type of cardinality many to one relationship. Okay, so next, many to many relationship. Here you have to observe when more than one instance on the left side can participate more than one instance on the right side. Means here more than one employee can assign more number of projects. More number of projects contain more number of employees. So here, taking one example, taking me as an example. So I am working for CSC department and civil department. I can assign to two departments. Like I am one employee can assign to two departments like CSC and civil department. CSC having more employees and civil also having more number of employees. So in that case, in that type, you have to assign like what type of cardinality means many to many relationship. Okay. So all of you understand what are the components of ER diagram and representation of ER diagrams. If you understand clearly, then I have to go for online tool for designing this type of diagrams. Anyone can reply, then I can show in online. Anyone can reply, are you understand? Okay, then I go, just have to choose for online. Just you have to type ERD plus website this type of diagrams. Okay. So this is my login. Okay. So here you have to observe the main thing documents. So this is our login through Gmail. Okay. So just in this site, you have to click on new diagram. So what is the diagram name you have to told like employee. Employee is a database name, employee database name. Just click on that employee. So here, what are the components you have to observe here? What are the components? Entity, attribute, and relationship, right? Just click on entity and click on it. Okay. Just write an employee as an entity name. Just here the representation or strong angle, and the next one is weak. So you have to observe double rectangle is the representation for weak entity. If we have to represent like associative is the cause. So employee obviously is a strong entity. Just you have to select this type. So what are the properties? Means you have to add attributes for employees. Employee ID, one attribute. Okay. So next thing is employee name. Next, what is the designation? Okay. Department, working department. Like this, you have to give. This you have to observe everything. You have so here how we have to it is very important and key attribute. Key composite. Just what is the observation of composite here? Attribute with an attribute. Here you have to choose for another attribute. For the same thing, you have to choose another attribute. Like this way, you have to represent. Think is right derived. If it is derived, what is the symbolic representation for derived? Is nothing but dotted ellipse. Okay. So next we have to choose for this thing, right? Or multi-valued optional. Just you have to choose for another thing. The project ID is unique. You have to take just like this. For example, we have to take there is a relationship between these two means employees assigned by project, right? Relationship you have to observe here. Relationship is nothing but here assigned, assigned thing. So here you have to observe type of relationship. What is the first entity you have to select as an employee? There is a connection between employee and assigned. Next, you have to choose for a project. That is a connection for assigned and project. So there is a relationship. Means one to one you have to select, one to many you have to select, many to one you have to select, or many to many you have to select. Whether it is mandatory or optional, you have to mention by selecting these options. Okay, for example, you have to choose for one to one. What is the observation? Single lines or one to many. You have to observe one to many. Okay. So next, observe this type of observation. Next, or many to many, or many to one. So these type you based on the situation only you have to write the participations of that entities. Okay. Are you understand? in in this type of document only we have to convert model to relation model. Also tomorrow I'll discuss about relational model. Then we have to observe relational model. So here you have to choose for documents employee how we have to select this one. Nothing but here convert to relational schema like create and edit. Just we have to observe what is the table representation. Just here employee is one table and project is in another table. What are the attributes for the employee table? Just it will show automatically and it will convert automatically. So you have to save this is an image. Okay. So you have to observe export image. You have to calculate and by taking this, take it as a simple image. You have to take and save it within the document itself. Okay. So if you're having any doubts, please ask me in the chat box. If you're having any all of you listen one thing. If you rename the participant name attendee, or otherwise we cannot give attendance based on the name. Okay, just you have to rename your user ID as your roll number. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Same your roll numbers, right? Right. Who is Vigneshwar Vani, Vigneshwar Shaini and Vishwita? Ritvik. Okay, thank you.